Hey everyone, I just finished listening to a book called Think Your Way to Success by Mark Rhodes. Now, it's only available as an audiobook, so I listened to it on Audible. Really, really good. It came up just as a suggested listen on Audible when I was looking for something new to read. And at first, I found it difficult because the guy who was reading it, he just put me to sleep. I don't know, it was something about the voice. It's not a bad voice, but it put me to sleep. So I sped it up to 1.8 times, and then it was really good, but it sounded like a manager at work. And I thought, oh my God, I can't listen to this either. In the end, really, really good book. I tried listening. I thought it's only 4 hours long, so listen to it at 1.8 times speed. It won't take long, right? But I tried to listen to it on an aeroplane, and I just kept falling asleep. Then I tried to listen to it on holiday, and I just kept falling asleep. On the way back, I managed to listen to a bit of it, and I started doing the exercises. It makes such a difference. Who's Mark Rhodes? So Mark Rhodes is a guy who used to work as an accountant, decided that he'd rather work in computers, worked in computers, decided that he'd rather be freelance, ended up being freelance, decided that he'd rather have his own company. That happened too, sold it, became rich enough to retire at the age of 35, and then got bored and thought, you know what, I'm going to try and figure out how did I manage to be so successful. So it actually ends up being an NLP book. Now, I've read hundreds of NLP. I haven't had nonsense. I've read maybe 5, 6 NLP books. And most of the time, it didn't really seem to work for me. There was one I read by Paul McKenna, which seemed pretty good, Instant Confidence. But the rest of them didn't really seem to work for me. And I just ended up thinking NLP is a load, it's nonsense. It doesn't work for me. In this book, which is based on NLP, but fortunately, he doesn't say right at the beginning it's based on NLP because that would have put me off. There's some exercises he suggests, and they seem to really, really work. So this guy went and studied with Richard Bandler. It was John Grinder and Richard Bandler who came up with NLP in the 70s. He went to a Paul McKenna talk, and sitting in the audience, he thought to himself, I could do that. And he ended up being a talker as well. So with this guy, Mark Rhodes, like anything he decides he wants to do seems to happen. He's one of the guys who had it naturally, so he used NLP to sort of figure out why he was able to be successful. So initially I thought it was just a book about setting goals. So he talks about how to set your goals and how to use language in a way that will actually make your brain want to achieve those goals, because your brain is designed to help you survive, to avoid pain, to do what's easy. And generally, if you avoid pain and do what's easy, you never get anything good done. So he says, rather than just say, oh, wouldn't it be great? Here's a goal, for example. I want to be a published author. That's rubbish. It's vague. I want to. So he goes for a whole bunch of exercises where my goal, I want to be a published author. It's kind of happening anyway because I've had a book accepted for publication. I'm working on the second one. Is by January the 1st on this year, I will have at least one book accepted for publication. You set a deadline so that you actually have to get into movement. You say at least, so it's not limiting. I might have 3 books accepted for publication. I don't know. Really good, that exercise. Then he goes on about words not to use. Don't use the word try. I will try to. That's just a cop out, and your brain knows it. And also, put your goals somewhere where you see them every single day. Review them every single day. What's really, really important is to imagine what it would be like. How would it feel if you'd already achieved those goals? Because that's seducing your brain into wanting to do them. And if you can get your brain on side, then you can pretty much do anything. This is how he thinks about it. So he says, when he was in accounting, he used to say to himself, wouldn't it be great if I was working in computers? And it happened. This is before he figured out everything through NLP. When he was in computers, wouldn't it be great if I could be freelance? And it happened. Then wouldn't it be great if I had my own company? And it happened. Then wouldn't it be great? So he was just instinctively one of those guys who used language and who thought in a way that made his brain serve his purpose. So the book's about doing that. The first step, like I said, is the goals, how to write out your goals, review your goals every day. So important to imagine what it would be like to have already achieved those goals, because that's what seduces your brain into wanting to get there. Your brain isn't thinking, oh, that's going to be painful. He's thinking, oh, that would be really good. Let's figure out a way to make it happen. So that is NLP. But the way he described it, it didn't feel like it, and it was good exercise. But doing that exercise felt a bit boring. I was like, oh, for God's sake, now what? Okay, let's write them out again. Let's read them all out 5 times. But you have to go through the exercises, because otherwise it's pointless. I got so much from this book by going through the exercises. Then the second section, not the second section in the book, but the second section in the book that really, really made me think, wow, this works, was how to figure out what your strategies are. So your strategies are basically your beliefs about something, and your beliefs about something will massively affect whether you do them, how well you do them, and whether you succeed at them. So the exercise here is to think of something you're really good at. Think of something you always do. Think of something you get good results at. So I thought to myself, well, I exercise regularly. I've always exercised regularly. I'm pretty good in the gym. I don't have to try and motivate myself. If I need to go to gym one day, I want to go to gym one day, more like it. I don't care if it's 1 a.m. in the morning. I'll just get up and go. I always get it done. I thought, I'm pretty good about going to gym, aren't I? And then it says, now, when you think about going to a gym, what goes through your mind? So I wrote it down. I thought it's going to be fun. I think about, how good I'm going to feel when I break all my personal records. I think about, hey, there might be some good-looking girls at the gym. I think about, it'd be fun if I train with a training partner. I think about, doesn't it feel great just to be strong? Doesn't it feel great to be healthy? I thought in my 40s I can physically outdo a lot of people in their 20s. So these are all positive things I think about. And then there was another thing. He says, think about what goes through your mind when you think about doing something that you should do, but you don't do. Well, I was making phone calls for this business. And then, what do I think? Oh, God. They're not going to want to take my call. They're going to block my number. They're going to avoid me. They're going to think I'm some kind of this. They're going to think it's some kind of scam. They're going to think... And I thought, oh my God, listen to all this shit. No wonder I don't make the calls. And then it says, take the strategy you use for what you're good at, i.e. the gym, and apply it to what you're not good at. Play that over in your head a few times. Playing it over in your head sounds difficult. Write it down. So I just wrote down, don't think about, oh my God, what's going to happen? Think about, wow, I'll get this result, that will happen, this will happen. So rather than thinking about the process of all the things you have to do and all the things that could go wrong and all the shit you have to go through, think about, why is it worth doing? How's it going to feel when you do it? How's it going to feel when you make the change you want to make? What bits about it are going to be fun? And it really worked. I just sat there thinking, oh, I'm so motivated now. It's incredible. So that was a really, really good section in the book. I found that really helpful. And then there's another one about uncovering your limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs, so many people have heard about them. Oh, they hold you back. The only thing in your way is you, and blah, blah, blah. But how do you find out what your limiting beliefs are? One way to challenge a limiting belief, how do you find out what they are to start with? When you need to do something and you find yourself procrastinating or not able to do it, ask yourself why. I can't possibly make this phone call because the person will think I'm wasting their time or something. Oh, there's no point. Global beliefs and personal beliefs. Personal beliefs, things like, I can't do it now because I've got a headache. I'm just not good at these things. Global beliefs are every single person who gets a call like this gets pissed off. There's so much to cover in this book. I'm probably making, some things not as clear as they could be made, but it's a really good book if you go through the exercises. I'm just trying to think what's a good one. Write down all the things that... so here we go. I've remembered another one. All right. So when you feel a fear and you kind of freeze because you have to do something new. You have to get out of your comfort zone. Not get out of your comfort zone, but expand what's comfortable. Expand your comfort zone. So expanding your comfort zone, learning new things makes you successful, makes your life more fulfilling. Success isn't just about money, it makes your life more fulfilling. You're learning new things. And learning, I really do believe, is something I said to a friend once. Learning is the greatest adventure, because all the times in my life when I've been most fulfilled, happiest, whatever, not necessarily financially most successful, there's more to success than money, is when I've been learning things, when I've been interested enough to learn things and expand and learn new skills. That's really what life's about for me. Anyway, so whenever you're doing something, imagine there's like a traffic light for fear. Red is you absolutely stop, panic attack, dead, never drink it again, oh my god. Orange or amber is you have to ask yourself, if I do this, am I safe? Am I actually going to die if I do this phone call or something? Of course you're not. And then you ask yourself, right, do I really want to be able to do this call? Because if I'm able to do this call and I'm good at it, how will my life improve? You write down a list of all the great things that could happen if you develop the skill and you get good at it. Then you write out a big list of all the dreadful things that could happen if you never take this action, how crap your life will end out, what you'll mess up on, what you'll miss out on, how many regrets you'll have when you're dying. You think, God, if only I'd done that. It's like the Dickens technique that Tony Robbins talks about. Read through the lists afterwards, and the one that motivates you most, just concentrate on that. Some people are motivated by moving away from pain, so the negatives list. Some people are motivated by moving towards pleasure, so the positive list. And then you know what your motivation strategy is. So it covers all these different strategies. I need to go through my notes. I've just finished reading it. It's a really good book. Only available on Audible. And it's called Think Your Way to Success by Mark Rhodes. It's actually a book. I've got a couple of things I need to get good at now. I'm just going to do the exercises, because read about something once and then never practice it, not going to do you much good. It's like if you learn a martial art, you go to class, you never practice, you're going to make real slow progress. You go to class, you come home, you practice what you learned in that lesson for 10-15 minutes every day, you get really good really quick, and it stays with you. So let's say you don't go to the martial arts class for 2-3 years, but then you get into a situation, you remember everything because you practiced it. So now I've done this review, I'm actually going to go and do some of the exercises from the books in 2 areas of my life. I'm so sure it's going to work. Really good book. Think Your Way to Success by Mark Rhodes. Only available on Audible. It was included in my membership. I don't know what my membership is. It's something I got in my phone contract. But if you can get your hands on it, give it a listen. Do the exercises. Really, really good.